Everyone. I haven't done lives in English on my page in like forever, but today is a special day because I get to introduce you to my incredible friend Carly, whose story is so inspiring, and I feel like I haven't really shared it. We haven't shared it here a lot. I invited her to come on up and talk a little bit about how she started this business, why she started this business, and kind of what happened along the way. Hey, girl.
Hello.
I thought I'm like connected with my speakers, but I'm not. Can you hear me okay? Does this
Yep.
sound good?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, I was just introducing you a little bit, and I know you get to introduce yourself again, but just so you guys know a little backstory. Back when I started doing this business, my page was strictly in English. I did everything in English, and I knew Carly back then, but we were never close friends. We were never hanging out in the same circles. We knew each other from photography world. She is just like me, mama, busy mama, shooting weddings. And it's funny, the story that you talked, you shared about how you met me the very first time, an impression I gave you. What do you do to, what do you have with your eyelashes? What I have with my eyelashes? I don't know what I have with my eyelashes. People are weird. They ask weird questions. So anyway, I remember how you shared that I was really pushing you. I was really like yelling at you like for not sending up in the front aisle to photo. And I think, back then Nathan set me up to be there for you for that. He
Yeah.
wanted me to kind of like push you out of your comfort zone. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about who you are, how we met, how you started this business, and like what you shared another night, because like literally I'll be honest with you, like I know you for a long time and I knew parts of your story, but the
Right.
way you shared it that night, I was like, wow, I don't think you've ever shared it like from that perspective. And I thought it was so powerful, and people deserve to know that. So that's why you're here. Take it away.
Awesome. Yeah. So Leek and I met, I don't, it was probably 2014-ish, 2013 maybe. And like she said, we were working for the same photography studio. There was a team of us, but we didn't really know each other yet. And so they teamed me up my first wedding. I was the lead photographer. She was the second shooter with her. And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. And so like, I don't know why. I have anxiety and I get really nervous. And so since I was working for another company, I was just nervous to perform well. And so they did purposely set me up with Lika so that she would push me. And for whatever reason, I started to shut down, and she was like, you're the lead photographer, get to the front. Like, what are you talking about? And so it was just like basic stuff that I already knew, and I did it all the time. But for some reason I was just nervous, but it was,
Yeah.
it's so funny because I feel like that set us up for what we do now. Like, it's so crazy that you're now my mentor and we're now, of course, better friends, and that you push me in other aspects of life. So I absolutely love that that's our story. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
It's
so
like a good representation of our relationship. What our relationship boiled down to. Carly goes like, I remember how we were going at the airport and you like waiting and waiting for your sandwich. I'm like, where's your sandwich and your coffee? And I was just like, where's her sandwich? She's waiting for her sandwich. Like, but this is all you need to know about our relationship. Like, I, it's funny.
yeah, so like I'm actually older than Lika, but for some reason I'm like, she's just like my mom and takes care of shit.
Yeah, I love her, my baby girl. She's my baby girl. Hey, baby girl. I had no clue for the longest time that you're older than me. Seriously. Like, I thought you're like really baby. Like, literally, I thought, oh, she's just a baby. She just doesn't know. It's okay. I'll help her. I'll be her mom.
No, I recommend that everybody has like a loud Russian friend who will take care of shit for you. So love it.
Come
Um,
handy.
so yeah, so I started Monate. I know that Lika was a customer first, and then she joined the business in October 2017. I literally joined the business in November 2017, like just a few weeks after she had started the business. And I didn't know that. I didn't know she was a customer before. I just suddenly I saw you showing up on social media and your hair had transformed. Like I had saw you in person, you know, a couple months prior with damaged hair and, or I don't know how many months prior, but damaged hair and it was brassy. And, you know, we were both kind of in a slump from the postpartum hair loss and the postpartum weight gain because we had a baby 1 month apart from each other. And so just to see you on social media suddenly with shiny, bright white hair, it wasn't brassy anymore. It was beautiful and you looked confident. I was just like, what is going on? Like, I want that. What is all that? Because it wasn't just you sharing it. It was also Sarah Hill, which is another photographer that we both looked up to and admired and had followed. I know you were closer with her personally. I just had known her from following her. And it was like, you know, if there's these successful, beautiful photography women talking about shampoo, like there must be something to this. And plus my hair was super damaged as well. And postpartum hair loss was not growing back. My scalp was irritated and itchy. And so I just decided to reach out to you. I was like, I don't have any money, but whatever it is you're doing, I want all of that. I want to do it with you. And you're like, I've been waiting for you.
Well, I remember I want you to really like, you know, dive deep into your story, like how, like where you were mentally, like what led you to saying yes, because like I didn't see you struggling. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like when the reason why I wanted you on my team wasn't because I thought, oh, her life sucked
right.
and it will be better because of Monet. And I think a lot of girls, when they go out to recruit, to like connect with people, they're like, we need to search for those people who are like needy and who like every girl on my team, like my directors, like you could never tell that something's wrong with them, like with their life. Like their life seemed perfect on the outside. It seemed so put together. And the reason why I wanted you on my team wasn't because I thought you like close to a mental breakdown and you close to like I can't, like what's going on, like this life is like what the heck, like I want a different life. The reason I wanted you on my team was because I knew what a badass you are, like how strong you are, like that you do hard things, and how what's the word, responsible you are, you know. And that was like I want that girl, like
Yeah.
I want to do business with that kind of person. Like she shows up. I want to do business with people who show up for themselves in life, and you totally did. But what was going on the inside? Talk a little bit about like that.
Yeah. So like when you met me, and I'll backtrack after I say
Mhm.
this, when you met me was right when I had just made that switch. I was going through or my divorce and I fell in love with someone new and I was just doing all these things. I was hustling my photography business and all these things. So I will backtrack to how I got
Mhm.
there. So you saw me right at like a really pivotal moment of my life where I was just like, I'm going to say yes to everything. So here's why this happened. So from age 16 to 29, I was in a relationship. So 13-year relationship. I ended up marrying this person. I had my first daughter. So that relationship was, I started dating him at 16. He was a bad boy. He dropped out of high school. He had green hair, punk rock kid. And I was like, ooh, you know, like I want to be with this bad boy. You know, it was just very attractive to me for some reason, even though I grew up in a very cookie cutter. We work, we get jobs, we go to Disney World, we play sports, we ride our bikes. Like it was very cookie cutter. Nobody got in fights. It was, So
Yeah.
when I was attracted to this bad boy at 16, and then I fell into this teenage like depression slump, and I didn't know why. It was very confusing, but I just took my teenage years, I felt like, and I used it to think that I could fix him. Like
Hmm.
I could make this guy into a good person. I'll have him go back to high school. I'll do this, do that. And what happened was I was 16 and I went directly into like the role of a mother. But I wanted love and affection and attention, and I didn't know how to deal with all that, but I just kept
Yeah, how to ask for it. you know?
Yes. And years just kept passing by to where I was, every step of our relationship was like, well, it'll get better when. It'll
Yeah,
get,
like if I'll do this, he's gonna do that. Like
yes.
if I'll be a little bit better, he's gonna be a little bit better to me. Like if I'll be a little bit more loving and like, oh, he doesn't want me to hang out with girls, I won't be hanging out with girls. I'll do what he wants and let's see what happens.
It was very much like I taught him how to drive. I would make his resume and be like, you got to get a job. Like, here's where you should. I would apply to jobs for him. I would apply to school for him. I did all these things. And then I'd be like, just asking for love. And it was just years kept going by. And then it became like, well, when we get married, he'll grow up and he'll mature. When we have a baby, he'll get better. And it was years of manipulation, of him making me feel very small. And I think what I tried to do to make myself feel big was to try to make him better, which never, of course, happened. It was constantly being told that my friends were shit, my family was stupid. Like, these are the words, all your friends, every female was a skis, a slut. That's how he would talk to me. And so really what happened in the relationship was I became very alone. It was just me and him, because I'm like, well, he loves me, he supports me, he's the only one, everybody else is stupid, right? That's what I'm being told. Everybody that supports you is stupid. And then, but somehow in all of that, I did start my photography business. And I have to say, it was because I had my daughter. And it was like, what am I doing with my life? I was just working in collections, I was working in payroll, I was doing all this stuff that I hated with a photography degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, because through all that too, I still went to college. I did all these things that I knew you were supposed to do. And I was like growing and maturing. And I'm like, okay, at some point he's going to grow up, right? At some
Uh-huh.
point, he's going to keep a job. At some point, he's going to stop smoking weed. At some point, and this was when, like, I know people smoke weed, it's no big deal, whatever. But this is when it wasn't that cool.
But it's not even, I don't feel, I feel like it's not even about that. It's about like, is this your escape out of reality and is it your addiction? Or
Oh,
is
for,
it actually a therapy, something that helps you, like something that's healing you, allows you to show up better for yourself?
yeah.
Like don't have, if you have, so it's like, it's a two different things. I think he was using it like as a recreational drug, as an escape from reality, as a, it was an addiction. You know what I mean?
It was constantly, he couldn't function without being high. And like, if he
Yeah.
wasn't high, I was like, please go smoke because you're being irritating, you know what I mean? But it became this whole thing. We had a grow operation in our house. It was very stressful. It was just constant stress, and constantly, like, I was mothering him, but then at the same time I was being broken down to being
Mm-hmm.
a piece of crap and no one else would love me, things like that. So once I once I finally left, I mean, I tried to leave several times, but once the final thing happened to where he actually didn't beg me to come back, because we did go to marriage counseling, and she was,
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep leaving. You can't keep begging her to come back. The next time this happens, you both have to agree that it's just over. And thankfully, that was one thing that we both actually listened to. And so when that happened, when I was finally like, I'm done, I'm leaving, like, and then he didn't beg me to come back. And so we finally split. And I just was like, this was the first time. You got to think about this. I was with this guy from age 16 years old to 29. I had never been with anyone else. I had never been alone. I had never been alone as a single parent. I'd never lived on my own. And I have never had to share my kid, which I did everything for. And so it was very, very scary. And the month before I left, I had just quit my full-time job to go full-time photography.
Yeah. So a lot of like growth, my phone down.
Oh,
Growth that is like this forced you. It forced you to grow. Like you were like, well, shit, no more playing around. Like time to grow
right.
up, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was on my own, like I said, and so I really had to go like hardcore into my photography business. And I'm like, this is my only income now. There's no backup. And now I have like this apartment and these bills all on my own. I have my daughter on my own. So I just exploded my photography business. And here's what I did in the process is I was literally sharing on social media at this time the good, the bad, the ugly of my divorce. I mean, Facebook was like my diary, because what I realized was I actually made better connections and got through my divorce better by talking to people I didn't really know, by
Mm-hmm.
talking to just acquaintances that I had versus my closest friends or my closest family, because they were too close to the situation. So they already had their mind made up. But if I could talk to people and build relationships with people like that
On
weren't,
social media. Mm-hmm.
they didn't know him, they didn't know the
Mm-hmm.
situation, to where we could actually have like an authentic conversation about it instead of just anger, that helped me with my photography business. I mean, people were like, I'm going to support you, I'm going to hire you. They were like more lenient when my turnaround times were completely trash. Like, they understood I was going through stuff, because I felt like if I could just be honest with people, they're going to be more understanding, and they're going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what happened. I mean, I was shooting weddings like crazy during that. And just imagine shooting weddings when you're going through a horrendous divorce was so hard, but it was the best thing, because
I know.
I saw like love. I saw
You
what,
know, it's like it like you tell this and it like I get chills because I don't know if you remember this. I married my husband and then for 3 years he couldn't come. Like we had this like whole long distance relationship and I went to see him and I got married and then I came back and I happened to be pregnant and then I had to go through pregnancy by myself and same thing. I was so busy shooting weddings and every day it was right in my face, like happy couples,
yeah,
loving. And I was just standing there like, why? Why
yeah,
is this torture? Like
yeah,
I just want my husband next to me. I just want to come home and have him home, like not all over, over the ocean and completely different countries. So I totally get it. It's hard, but at the same time, like you, now I look back and I'm like, that's the best thing. I was busy. I like, what would I do if I were home? Like not having this hope that once he'll get his visa, he'll come back and then we'll have our family. So
right.
same for you. You probably were like looking at these weddings and going like, well, one day it's gonna be my story. I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah. So that's like, so when I left that relationship, I had knew I'd spent 13 years like not prioritizing myself, other than, I mean, I did start the business, but I always got told like, oh, well, the
I'm
only,
gonna grab a charger. Keep talking.
yeah,
Okay.
like the only reason you have a business is because I let you start, or I helped you do that and all this stuff. And so when I left that relationship and went through my divorce, I told myself, I'm no longer going to say no to myself in fear. I was so many things I didn't do, and I didn't explode my photography business before that because I was constantly too scared. I was saying no to things. I always wanted to join a gym, but then I didn't join a gym because he would make me feel like, well, you're going to fall in love with the trainer and you can't be around all those guys and this and that. It was constant insecurity poured onto me. And so I never got to do the things I really wanted to do. And so when I went through the divorce, I promised myself that every opportunity that presented itself that scared me, I was going to say yes. And I was going to say yes before I could talk myself out of it. And so that's what happened. Like, I said yes to doing more weddings on my own as a lead. I said yes to Firefly, to shooting weddings with you. I was scared shitless. I said yes to um, getting a trainer. I joined a gym. And what's funny now is, this is part of my story. John and I, my current husband, we joined the gym one day apart, but we didn't
That's
learn that.
crazy.
We didn't learn that until a year later. But so I said yes to a gym. I said yes to a trainer. I said yes to dating a country boy who I said I would never date because he hunts and that's gross. And now he's my husband, of course. And I said yes to doing a bodybuilding competition because my
That was That was insane. I remember those posts.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember you posting and you right, you were so vocal. You shared everything. You're like, dude, I can't stare at this piece of chicken anymore and sweet potato. I remember that's all you ate. She's like, I have to, and I was like looking at her going like, wow.
Yeah.
Like how like during that time, remember, I was like through pregnancies, extra weight, I didn't do anything like, and I was like, oh my god, like,
Yeah.
Carly, I want to be you when I grow up. So that was like really really amazing.
Yeah, and that was just insane. And I remember how much I committed to that, and I never once cheated. I stayed strong. It was like 27 weeks of prepping and dieting and meal prepping and working out twice a day and having a trainer, and I had a posing coach. Like it was insane. And I committed so hard because I had made that promise to myself that I was going to say yes. So when Monet come about, it was like, okay, I need this. I want this. It scares me. Yes, I'm saying yes. Like I have to. I said I'm still doing it. I'm still saying yes to stuff. Um, and then that's just a whole other thing that has completely transformed me to like the next level, especially my mindset. My mindset was still
Yeah.
super great, even though I was working hard and saying yes to all these things. So
Yeah, I think you know what really happened during that time is like now you can look back and analyze is that when you had no control over your ex, no control what he's gonna say, what he's gonna do, like you felt so completely out of control there. What our mind does is it tries to find something that we can control so we don't feel like our life is spinning out of control and like and we're like what's really going on. And so you found this one thing, your bodybuilding competition, and you're like, well, there I can everything is it depends on me
yeah,
and I can control it all. And I think that in our business, it transforms, like, it translates completely over to our business. And why I love this business so much is that the moment you understand that you have no control over results, you don't know who's going to tell you yes, who's going to tell you no. The only thing that you can control is you, how you show up, your mindset, then you like, since it's like my responsibility and it's my job and it depends on me, I should start working on myself. I should start reading, I should show up on social media, I should do the things, and that's when the growth happens. But I'm so glad that both you and I, we kind of had the situations that prepped us for this business. So
yeah,
when we started here, now I know you have an incredible team. You've been to couple what, eight trips, or how many trips you've been to? A crazy amount of trips. You've earned money, you've changed, you've grown. You're not the same person for sure that I've met at that wedding. I bet if I tried to push you around at the wedding, you would be like, Lika, like, stop, I know what I'm doing. I got this, relax. Um, but it's necessarily. I think a lot of people don't understand that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, and every situation has its own place and meaning. You may not know and understand it now, but it's given to you so you can grow. Yeah, we can look at your ex and say we know what he's done. We know that he's, how bad he was, but at the end of the day, you stayed with him for that many years, and until you saw that, wait a second, I don't want to settle for this. I want more.
yeah,
I actually like looked, and I'm not as bad as you paint me. No, I'm not. I do the things, I show up, I love you, I do so much for you. It's actually you who don't show up for me and for our relationship. So either you change or goodbye.
yeah,
And it's so incredible that you found that um strength within yourself. And sometimes I know, even now it may feel like you forget that you have it, you know what I mean? But I want you all the time to look back at those competition photos and your experience and remind yourself, like, Carly, like, you're a warrior. Can you tell a little bit about that time when we finally had conversation with you about like rebranding your team and your name and everything. That was, I feel like it's such a powerful like lesson for you, like lesson for growth, and what really had to happen in your head, like
Yeah.
how you heard me actually was
Yeah.
really interesting.
So, yeah, so since I've been in this business for 4 years, like when you start to grow a team, like everybody creates a team name. And I kind of just like at the beginning, I just made up a team name. It was like movers and shakers or something. I just made something up. And then what happened was, I started to grow a team, and I've always been told that I'm awkward, or you know, other people call themselves awkward. And so what happened was I started to attract a lot of awkward people to my team. And awkward as in like, I don't know. I think most people have kind of like an awkwardness to them, but we were like really awkward. So I changed my team name to Team Awkward, which was supposed to be lighthearted and funny. But after a while, when during all the pandemic, when we lost a lot of people from the team, a lot of people didn't want to work anymore. They were going through depression, or they just didn't have the energy to do it. Is I lost a lot of people, and I reached out to Lika like, okay, this something's got to change. What's going on? Like, I need that fire back. I love this business. It brings me joy. I show up every single day, but I lost half my team. Like, what can I do? And she's like, first off, you got to stop calling yourself Team Awkward. And I'm like, she's like, I get it. It's funny, but you're attracting people who are like, I'm awkward. I don't know if I can do this. I don't like their posture. It's, oh, I'm just so weird. I can't.
Mhm.
And so it was like a light bulb when you said that. It was like, I'm attracting people who find themselves to be awkward. And so they're never pulling themselves out of that to have the belief system that they can do more than just that. Which,
Mhm.
of course, I have my girls too that have been here for the long haul, and they're still here and hustling, and we're collaborating. But I was like, we all as a unit need something different. And that's when you were like, your bodybuilding competition, this and that, and you're a fighter, you're a freaking warrior and all this stuff. And I was like, you're right. And so that's when I decided to rebrand and dig deep. And I was doing research and making new graphics. And that's why my team
Mhm.
now is the Warrior Tribe. And I'm not going to change it again.
I think the coolest part is about this business is that it paints a picture for you what's possible. And the only way for you to connect the dots and go from, okay, this is my story now, this is what I have now, and I don't want this, I want more. And you start going like looking up and going like, okay, this is what I want, but how do I get there? Like, how do you go from lazy, laying on a couch, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, to this disciplined, successful person that makes hundreds and thousands of dollars? Like, in order for that to happen, like, you have to understand that you have to change and you have to fight for it. and
Yeah.
and the only person you're fighting is yourself, like in your head. That's the only person you're fighting that story. Well, you're awkward, you can't do this, it's hard, recruiting is hard, you know going live is hard, I never have time, finding time is hard. And so we as women, especially, I feel like men are a little bit better, but they also do that a lot. We start living in this story, and we start believing the story so much that we forget that we are not our story. We are an author of our story. We write in that story. We don't have to live like that anymore if we don't want to. Like, if you're not happy about something, you can fight for better life, but fighting is inside. The fight, that's like an internal fight that happens, that you like push yourself out of, okay, like the rut, I guess they call it, right? When you
Yeah.
like, everything is like pointless. I work so much, I do so much, and nothing happens. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. And finding strength in that moment to keep going, to show up for yourself, to remind yourself why you do this, that takes a warrior, that
Yeah.
takes a fighter. And we all go through certain stages in our life when we like victims, but or where we when we experience that we're less than, but there something happens in our mind, in our life, that changes it. And for you, it was like your divorce, right? It was like one thing that like pushed you over your edge. For some people, it's health. Like something's happened so bad, something like so drastic happens to where you're like, okay, I gotta get on a diet, I
Yeah.
gotta start working out, I gotta start taking care of myself. Like for me, it was suicidal thoughts. Like I remember when I kept sweeping it under the rug, that I'm not happy, that I'm not fulfilled, that I'm like sick and tired of this life. It's okay. Everyone lives like that. Who like it's okay. Everyone lives like that. Okay, you went dark on us. You
I
went
know.
brutal.
I'm back.
And I remember that for me, it was when I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I want to check out. I don't want to live this life anymore. Like, yeah, my kids are happy. Yeah, I have very busy photography business. Yes, I have this. Yes, I have that. But it's not what makes me happy. Like, it doesn't make me happy. And I don't see way out of this. There's like no way out of this. And thank God that Shannon Burns, maybe you know her. She used to be also a photographer. I called her and I was like, dude, something's wrong with me. Like, I think I need to get on meds or go see a therapist. Like, I don't know. I keep thinking this very negative thoughts, like
Yeah.
way more negative than ever before. Like, I want to literally end my life. Like, something's happening. And I'm so thankful that at that moment she was there for me. She was like, I won't judge you. Like, you're incredible, like this and that. And she like really gave me the needed support to kind of search for answers. How do I get out of this? And so same for you, like you were searching for answers. You're like, okay, I'm going to try to say yes. And so what would you tell to people who are watching us and they may be going through serious situation like divorce, or they may be going through like what I was going through, like suicidal thoughts, like not happy with their life? Do you think that this business may be for them and maybe an answer to all of their problems? Like, is it like the magic pill that they're hoping they're gonna get once they join?
Well, I think that they're not, I don't think that people are going to think this is the magic pill, but I think that it is. I, because, I don't know exactly why you started other than you wanted better hair, more income, but mine was so little when I joined. I wanted to make my car payment. Like I wanted better hair to make my car payment. And the business was so many more things. It was all those other things I did need, like you said, because I spent all those years fighting to be better, but I wasn't working on my mindset. This business is what gave me that. Like you are the one that gave me that. And so had I not done that, I would have still been like doing things for me and fighting for a better life, but I wasn't really ever getting anywhere because my mind
Right.
is still at like stuck mode. So like I feel like if people are, yes, you can do mindset work outside of this business, absolutely. But this is where people are surrounding you because they know what it's like to get better. And so we're here to help you do that too. In the meantime, you're getting better, you're growing, you're getting stronger, you're making an income, you get to earn free travel. You are then turning around and helping other people do the same. And that's a way better feeling than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
For people to come to me and be like, I was able to pay for Christmas with cash. I've never been able to do that. I always had to put it on credit cards. Like with shampoo money, like this stuff, even the small things, it's not just like becoming a millionaire and a director and all these things. It's the small stuff that it's like, what? Like I still am like, shampoo money helped me pay for my car. And
Oh, I
now,
still remember how like you messaged me and you said, shit, I gotta get my passport. Like I'm traveling out of the country. She's like, out of the first time you got on the
yeah,
plane to fly away, fly to
yeah,
a different country. And now it's like no big deal. John goes with you. You're like, oh yeah, another trip. Let's go.
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
It's
the truth.
very fulfilling. It's one thing when you achieve something, and it's completely different when you help someone else achieve it. And like you, I never thought that I'm going to be a mentor, that I'm going to help others, that I'm going to teach people about money, how to make money, how to live life. Like I looked at my life, I'm like, seriously? Like, no. Like, if you would come to me 4 years ago and you would say, like, Lika, you're gonna do this, you're gonna have this account, you're gonna be like this and that, like, I wouldn't believe you. But one thing you like nailed today when you said that, like, we were working, we were always doing things like you. I was always showing up. I felt like, hey, like they told me go to school, get a degree, be like hardworking, go to work every day, and you're gonna get the life of your dreams. I'm doing all that. Why am I not feeling happy? Why am I not feeling fulfilled? Why do I hate my relationship, my body? Why do I want to commit suicide? Like I did all the things they told me to do. What the hell, you know? And so the problem is mindset.
Yeah.
The thing is that how you see yourself, how you take action, from what place you take action. Are you doing things out of fear? Are you doing things out of love? Are you doing things out of willingness to help others and make this world a better place? That's what determines your success. That's what determines, like you said, like I'm obsessed with our company. I'm obsessed with our products. I love it. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm very confident that if something like happens, get to happen, and I will have to, like, I don't know, go back to photography or do something else. Like, if you know, remember when Instagram shut down, everyone's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Like, I'll figure it out. I got me, and we can figure it out. I'm pretty smart, you know. I do now. I do self-development now. I do you know, working out or eating healthy, not for the check mark. Oh, they told me to do that, so I better do that. Like,
Right.
I know what I'm gonna get in a result if I'm consistent. I know what I'm gonna get when I read every day. I now know. I've done, you know, I've seen it the other way. And so there is no way I can you know, give up, or I can stop doing what I'm doing, stop sharing it, stop being obsessed about it, or allow other people's opinions of what I do stop me from going after my
Yeah.
dreams. And I think like we're on the same page. Like you've always thought that, but it was like difficult. Like I feel like I always knew that, but it was very difficult. I felt like I still fighting with myself. Now I'm at the point where like I don't fight as much. You know, there's still moments, but it's not as often as it used to be, where like I used to live in that in my head all the time. Like, am I
Yeah.
wasting my time? Am I like doing this and it's not going to give me any results? Like, I detached myself from results and focused on feeling great every day,
Yeah.
feeling good, feeling like at 100% every day, and going from a place of I want to make this world better. Like, what can I do? Like, how can I serve? Like, what am I capable of? And I think you have so much to offer. Like, I would do anything to have you as my mentor, because you're so like, you are a fighter and you can be there for someone. You know, the thing that people don't understand is that when you are someone's mentor, your job initially, like when you joined, you know, my job initially was to show you like, okay, this is what you do, this is where you find information, this is our trainings, this is this
Yeah.
this and that, go. And then like you became this, like, you know, you're independent consultant, you're independent business owner, you're entrepreneur, and you just going. And I'm there for you anytime you need me. I'm there for you to push back and say, hey, like I've lost it. I feel like I don't believe in myself. Like I'm there as your like, I'm gonna give you a hand. Let's go. Let's go. We can do this. We together. You're not alone. We're doing this.
Yeah.
And I think you're like a perfect person for that. Like I can't find like I can't imagine a world where I call you and I tell you, hey Carly, I'm struggling, and you're like, it's okay, girl, take a break. Like lay down. It's gonna be fine. I know I know you're gonna say, come on, we got this. You can do this. Like don't be hard on yourself. Like take a break if you need to, but then get back to work. And I think anyone who's watching this right now, if you guys are searching for a perfect team, if you're searching, I've stepped away, honestly. I stepped away from my English team just because I switched my focus and I feel like that's where my purpose is to help Russian speaking girls.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still there for you. And so I feel like Carly is like, it's your job now to lead our part of the team that speaks English and
Yeah.
really step up and and be loud and proud about it. And so if you guys want to be part of our team, if you guys are searching for a way to kind of, change your life, like start making some money, change your hair, get a healthy, beautiful face and skin, and live life confidently and build your beautiful life, whatever that means for you. If you've been searching for ways to make money online, Carly's perfect. Like you guys, I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong with this powerhouse and the information. Like, so much about this business right now. You're so knowledgeable, you're so helpful, and you guys cannot go wrong. And if you haven't heard her story from the beginning, if you just joined, please stay. And once I'll post it, watch it again, because there's so much power in your past and how you were able to overcome so many, like, difficulties in your life, and you saw this possibility, this opportunity, as a lottery ticket at some point. You're like, this is it, I'm doing it. And what happens when you buy a lottery ticket? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I know for us, I feel the same way. When I tell people, I feel like when I bought a box back in 2017, I won lottery. Back
Yeah.
then, it didn't feel like that. There are days when I don't feel like that. There are days when I'm like, oh my God, it's hard. But at the end, it's all worth it. If anything, I am very grateful that I met you, and like we became closer and we know each other, and we're able to like build this life together, kind of, like we're part of each other's lives more than we were, and we're in this together. So, and that's priceless. Like, that's really priceless. The people that we meet, I know you became really close with your girls. I became close with like girls in my team. These friendships that would never happen if not for this business and for the shampoo. So you
Yeah.
guys, like Carly, thank you so much for sharing your story today, and finding time. I know sometimes it's like, oh, we tried. This is our third try. You guys don't know this, but we've been planning this for a couple of days, and something always comes up.
Yeah.
I know you're very busy. You have lots of kids. You have lots of animals. Carly has a farm, you guys. It's insane. Oh, I don't know how you do this, honestly. I look at you
Because yeah.
sometimes. You're my goat lady. You're my goat lady. I love you. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
vulnerable and sharing. I do believe that you need to talk louder about this, because like you are such a badass. Seriously. Like every time I see you show up, every time I see you knock down, like like seriously, sometimes you lay flat on your face, sometimes, and I'm like, how does she find power to get up and get going? It's not easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy. I know that. So you should really celebrate yourself. You should really, remind yourself about it more often, and then
Yeah.
say like, dude, I'm strong, like, because you are. And it's not about how much weight you can lift or how many push-ups you can do. It's about like your mental strength,
Yeah.
and always know that it's there for you, it's available, and you can do hard things. That, like, through your life. Like, look at you, you don't need to prove yourself that, that. So lean into that strength and keep going, and I cannot wait to put a MDC jacket on you, because it's happening.
Sure.
You're gonna be a millionaire if you want to, if that's one of your goals.
It
But
is. I want all of it. I want all.
I want all of it. I'm hungry for all.
It's happening.
um Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys, if you're interested, please message Carly. She will tell you more about the business. She'll tell you more about how to join and what you're going to get. And have a great day, my love. I'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you soon. Bye.
Bye.